Hey everybody, welcome to the Namra podcast. Russ Manxon here with my guest today, Steven Sosa from Summit Solar, a great local connection in many of the Central Mass chambers. We see each other all the time out and about networking, so wanted to bring him in and introduce him to our followers here at Namra, so stay tuned. How's it going, man? Thanks for coming in.
It's going great. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome to the Namra studio for the first time. We're just wrapping up. We're doing some video strategy, so maybe we can talk a little bit about that later on. But wanted to, first and foremost, just bring you in, introduce you to the studio. We know each other through networking at the Worcester Chamber, Clinton Chamber, you name it, around Central Mass. So I wanted to bring you in, spotlight you a little bit, give you a chance to talk to our followers, however many there may be, about what you do with solar and how you're helping homeowners around Central Mass. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me here. I
Absolutely.
super appreciate it to get me more exposure to people that follow you and to future collaborate with each other.
Absolutely.
I'm Steven Sosa. I'm from Central Mass. I grew up in Clinton, Massachusetts. I work for the company Summit Energy. It's a great local solar company, expanding as much as possible throughout New England. And our headquarters are over in Mansfield, but we're all over Massachusetts right now.
Awesome. And how'd you get into solar?
To keep it short, a buddy of mine was doing it. He showed me his paychecks, and he got me in there. But to be realistic, I just wanted to help people out, and I was already in sales. I came from real estate and T-Mobile, all sales, and I just wanted to find a way to help people out directly and a little bit faster. When it comes to real estate, it's a little bit of emotional process when it comes to helping people out. And it's a long game. But when it comes to solar, I can help people out and find out exactly how much I can be helping them and lower their bills.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit more about Summit, because there's a lot of big solar companies out there. There's some familiar names that I'm sure a lot of people have heard of, but Summit was a new one to me when I met you. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the company, how it operates, how you like working there.
Yeah. Well, so Summit has a great culture. I love working for them. I love being there around the people that do work there. The owners are really great guys. A lot of the solar industry, there's the big name out there, and I've had friends and family that have worked there, and other coworkers that have worked there, and then they come over and see Summit, and they're very happy. The culture's a lot more involved with each other, and people are a lot more synergized, and people like to help each other out. Great thing about Summit Energy is other companies or other businesses are closing down. We're actively looking for more locations to expand. So it's a great company to work for.
That's awesome. At this time in real estate or in the industry in general, how have things been? Are people starting to get more and more into solar as time goes on? Yeah.
So when it comes to the process of doing solar, and if it's getting more popular, it definitely is. As energy prices keep going up, there's more an incentive to try to find a way to lower your monthly bills. Energy is one of the only bills that fluctuates every single month, and there is no end to it. When it comes to your mortgage, your car payments, there's an end date to it. You can pay off early, anything like that, and you know exactly how much you're going to be paying. When it comes to your utility prices, you have no idea how much your bill is going to be next May. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and call your utility company and say, hey, what's my bill going to be next March? They're just going to laugh at you, and they're going to be like, I don't know how much. They don't know how much they're going to be charging you. You don't know how much you're going to be using. When it comes to solar, you have a better idea of exactly how much you're going to be paying every single month. If your solar panels can cover you up to 100%, you can get your life in check and make sure that all your bills are in the right places at all times and everything's predictable. And I think that helps everybody out. Yep,
that's awesome. What does the process look like when you meet somebody for the first time, or how are you meeting homeowners for the first time? Are you door-to-door sales or referrals, or how are you generating your business?
Yeah, Summit's very big with door-to-door. And it's a little bit tougher in the winter, and we all know that. So what I've been learning in the past 12 months is I've been getting really into networking. I'm in B&Is, I'm in chambers of commerce, and I've been meeting a lot of people and creating pretty much a sales team. And I'm the only person they know that's in solar, so it helps out a lot. So I'm joining all the right groups and talking to the right people, and showing them the benefits on how I can help them or even their friends or clients or family members out, and it's really working out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, people who follow this podcast know I'm a big supporter of the local chambers of commerce, especially when you're first getting started in any industry, just networking wise. It's like the best place to start, B&I and chamber. So it's great to hear that you found success and you found some referral partners through those connections. It's great. And you're a member of the Worcester Chamber, right?
Yes.
not Wachusett, Clinton, yes.
Clinton, yes.
Yep.
Clinton and Worcester, yeah. I grew up in Clinton. I joined the Clinton Chamber, and they just started back up about a year ago after they took a little hiatus, and the Worcester Chamber is really helping them out a lot, and they're growing a lot. And they have great events, they have great members, and everyone there is pretty friendly.
Yeah, yeah. I have to give a huge shout out to the Clinton Chamber. Like you just said, it has been great. They've only been back open for like a year now, and they've thrown some of the best networking events in Central Mass. You know, for a local chamber, a small town chamber, they've been absolutely killing it. So I'm excited to see what's in store for that one. Once you meet people, what is the process like?
Oh yeah, we keep it super simple as possible. We're not trying to sell anything to you day one. I'm trying to just make it educational. You know where you stand, you know where you can go from here, and we're not just trying to make a sale. I'm trying to just keep it helpful. So what I do is I get your utility bill. Everyone's utility bill has a graph or numbers on either side. We add up those numbers. That's your consumption for the year, and we're trying to mimic a solar system that will mimic that much production within the year. So all I need is your utility bill, and then I create a little presentation, and then we schedule a date out to sit with you for about an hour or two, depending on how many questions you have, and we get to the bottom of it to see if we can help you out. We're not at the end of the day, we're not the yes or no people, so we try to educate clients as much as possible to let them know what should they expect, even if they can or can't do solar.
Yeah, and that's important for people to know if they don't know already. You might not qualify for solar, but if you do, it seems like it's becoming almost a no-brainer for anybody who does qualify. Yeah. The only reason you'd qualify is because it's going to help lower your bill, keep things more consistent. So love that. Aside from chamber stuff, aside from like door-to-door sales, how else have you been sort of like growing in the industry? Like, is there anything else that's worth mentioning, or changes that are happening?
For myself, I would say I'm just maximizing on networking. I'm going to different groups as guests, to many different groups, to meet different people to see if I fit in with them. And when it comes to going to a lot of different networking groups, not everyone knows a solar person, so I really stick out and I get to help people out. And the thing that I really like about networking is connecting one business to another business. So I do like to meet so many people where I'm like, hey, you should talk to this guy from this town, and you guys are actually going to work out together. Yeah. And it happens a lot.
Yeah, yeah, especially when you're looking for it, and that's why I wanted to continue connecting with you when I met you for the first time, because I could tell, like, you're just very authentic, you're a good guy, local, clearly, and you kept showing up, and that's what we look for. Like, all the chamber people are like, all right, you can come to one event, but can you come to 12 over the course of the next year or so? And you have. You kind of kept showing up. I kept seeing you around, and so we've gotten to the point where we're going to be working together on some videos, which is exciting, helping you put that message out a little bit more on social media. So I'm excited for that. We won't tease that too much until they actually get out there, but how can people find you on Instagram if they do want to check you out over the next few months?
My Instagram is super simple. It's steve.solar, steve.solar. That's my Instagram handle. You can also go to my website, stevensolar.com, Steven with a V, and it has all my links right there at the bottom. And you can also schedule me on your calendar right on my website. So we keep it super simple.
Awesome. Awesome. What's in store for the new year? What are your goals for the upcoming year?
My goals for the year, I want to help out, insane goal, 52 families in this year. That'd be the ultimate. One a week. Yeah. Even if it doesn't happen this month, I'm sure it'll catch up in the future, because I'm helping people lower their bills significantly, keeping them low, making it so they are not being attacked by the utility companies, because there's nothing you can do about the utility companies. It's going to keep going up for as long as there's people using electricity. So that's just what I like to do. I like to help people out. Yeah.
Yeah. And that comes through. I think, like, you're very authentic in that you really are just trying to help and make connections and do whatever you can to assist people. What's the typical type of person that you work with?
Single family homes, like husband and wife, a couple kids, because you can't really control the electricity usage for everyone in your family. So that's definitely the perfect person to start helping out, because they're the ones that, a family is supporting a family. So if I can do anything that I can do to lower one of their bills so they can put money towards something else, that's an ideal client for me.
Yep. All right. So one of the, primary target audiences, so to speak, is the single family home with, usually a husband, wife, couple kids. Those are the people who they have the highest urgency probably to lower their bill, because those monthly expenses increase like crazy with kids, and you're able to help them on that front. But what about other demographics, like older homeowners, newer homeowners, everybody seems to be more and more interested and like primed to be thinking about solar. So have you worked with anybody on those ends?
Yeah, so a great person that I can help out are elderly couples, people that are retired, they're on Social Security, they have set finances. It'd be awesome to help those people out. I do have a couple clients where I'm like, hey, you have non-predictable, this is your only non-predictable bill. Your house is almost paid off, your cars are paid off, your retirement's all settled. The only thing that's not predictable is your utility bill. Mm-hmm. So I've been able to help people like that out. And it really does help them out because they know exactly how much they're going to be paying for everything every month, and then they know if they can save a little bit of money here or there. And another good set of clients for me, or a set of group of people that I can help out, are new homeowners. If you're buying a home in 2024, you know how expensive everything is. You know the interest rates are crazy. And if you move into a home, you buy a home this year, it's a great time to sit with someone that does solar and find out, hey, how much would it be for my monthly bill every month starting now? Instead of you dealing with it for 7 years of unpredictable billing, you can actually just find out exactly right away, and you have predictable bills right away.
Yeah, and why not do that right as you're already doing the financing for the home and the mortgage and all that? Mm-hmm. So that's great. So with the new homeowners, because we work with a lot of real estate agents and people in that sphere, it seems like the realtors are starting to pick up on the fact that solar sort of makes sense during the home buying process to consider mm-hmm. too. So have you found like success connecting with agents and people in that sphere?
Yes, what I've learned a lot in real estate, because I was also in real estate for a couple of years, is that there's a lot of seller agents, a lot of people selling homes, and there's not that many people buying homes. Mm-hmm. So when I do come across a buyer agent, it really changes things. And recently, I just sat with someone. They're going to be closing on our home this week, and he got me in touch with his buyer agent. He's like, "Oh, I can definitely connect you with other people that are buying homes, because it makes a lot of sense to know how much your bills are going to be in the future, right mm-hmm. when you buy a home, instead of dealing with it." Another thing that we do is roofs. So what this guy did was he gave me a call. He's like, a client of mine, they're going to be buying a home. They're going to be closing soon, and the roof isn't in great shape. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I gave him a quote for the roof. I gave him a quote for the solar system, and the buyer is very, very happy with how much they're going to be paying for their monthly bill and having the roof attached to that same payment.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the roofing process. You mentioned earlier, we were talking about how a lot of other companies like outsource the roofing company, or even outsource their installation project teams. And Summit doesn't do any of that, right? It's all internal. So if you hire Summit to install the panels and roof work needs to be done, it's all within the Summit team. So mm-hmm. talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's great. So about maybe around a year ago, we were attaching a lot of jobs to roofs and giving that job to other companies, and that's great. We found the best companies to work with when it comes to roofing, but we're like, hey, can we bring that internally? So if there's ever anything, you call the same person that you would call for the solar system. This is the same person that you're going to have a question about your electricity and your roof. So we like to keep it all in home, and it helps the customer from now in the future that they only have to talk to one person.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you sort of assume, if you're getting into a big purchase like that with a company, that will be the case. Like, I'm obviously going to get to talk to you throughout the whole process, but many homeowners hire a different company and they don't end up having that experience, and they end up sort of like losing their project manager to another company or not knowing who to call for this and that. And so I think it's respectable that you guys have done it possibly the harder way, but the right way, mm-hmm. In building a team all internally, and I'm sure it helps you feel better about what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked a lot about how you just feel like you're helping people more in this new company, which is great. It's good to hear. Mm-hmm. Anything else, man?
When we do any of our jobs, any of our installs for solar system, we're not selling any of our work. If you call around or you work with a different company, there could be a situation where the guys outside or the guys on your roof aren't wearing the same logo mm-hmm. that the company that you hired to do the work is. It's not the same crew. So a good thing about about Summit Energy is that we've been hiring crews consistently over the past year. So if we're going to be doing a job, we're going to be the only people on your roof, the only one people touching your things. So, you know, it's all within in-home, and there's nothing to worry about third party. If something went wrong and it wasn't us, we're going to have to play phone tag until we figure it out. You know, most of the 99% of the time, nothing goes wrong, thank God. But if anything did, you would just be calling me, and we take care of it internally. Yeah,
and that's huge. That level of service is huge. That's great, man. I think it's great that, like, what you guys are doing, clearly you have a passion for it, and you're going to help a lot of people in the next couple years for sure. Anything else you can think of that the people, again, it's a marketing podcast, so I apologize. We've diverted from the typical topics here on this episode, but I'm glad to have you in and, again, just spotlight what you do. I think it's, especially since we work with a lot of realtors and those types of people are going to be listening to this podcast more and more, it's good to connect with more people like you and people who are able, especially in this economy now, like everybody's looking for an extra, you know, $50 a month that they can save.
Yeah,
so
$50 a month for the whole year adds up.
Yeah, 100%. Like, what sort of stories or like impactful moments have you had with clients where you're like, wow, like I'm really helping them, you know, pay for this or that they otherwise didn't have in their budget now because they're saving on energy?
Yeah, well, a recent customer of mine, it was actually his son that texted me and said, hey, I just want to say thank you for helping my family out and gave them such a great deal. So I just had that text a couple of days ago.
That's awesome.
And shout out to them. Shout out to the family in Clinton. I got to help them out. We put a roof on their home and solar panels, and their bills are still cheaper than how they were when I first sat with them like 6-7 months ago. So I can only imagine what their bills look like now. And they're not adding anything to the national grid. They're just paying for their solar. That's
awesome. So that's kind of the point, right? Is that eventually they pay themselves off, the solar panels. How quickly does that typically happen, where you're like breaking even on the upfront installation of the panels?
So from our numbers and math and everything, you can break even within 7 years. So it's a pretty good ROI. You break even within 7 years. And you can even do a 10-year plan if you wanted to and really be out of that real quick. You have an end date to your energy bill versus not knowing how much your energy bill is going to be every single month forever.
And what about doing that, like say you're selling your home within the next 7 years? It's still worth it, right? Because it adds value to the home itself. You're selling that asset now to the new homeowner and explaining to them that it's going to be totally paid off, and you know their energy bill is more predictable and a lot lower now. So
yeah, definitely. It definitely brings up the home value up a lot. I would say 4 to 5% or even more over time. Awesome. Because the generation of people that are going to be buying homes in this year and the next 10 years, they're going to be looking more about saving money. So if you had two homes next to each other and one of them had solar panels and the other one didn't, they're probably going to go with them with the solar panels because that's a predictable bill every single month, or they're paid off and now it's actually free energy.
Yeah. So it is becoming more and more of a no-brainer, it seems, which is great. Great for you. Yeah.
Very great for us, awesome. And definitely helping people out.
Yep.
Getting them away from fossil fuels, getting the energy straight from the sun.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, man. So that's all great. What about the people you work with, like within the office at Summit? What's that culture like?
Yeah, the culture is awesome at work. We have about two meetings a week. It's not that serious, and we get there and we really get to business and figure out how we can help each other out in the room. So you go to a lot of sales jobs, and there's a lot of people just bragging about money and bragging about this or that. When it comes to Summit Energy, our meetings, they're very, very helpful and very informative. We have an educational section, and then we go over if anyone needs any help. My boss, John Stanisek, is a great guy. He came from other companies, and he's the VP of sales now, and he's a great guy to work with. He will definitely help you out. He's not about, oh, if you don't hit your numbers, we're going to fire you right away. No, he's like, how can we figure out a way to help you out? If it's not just being a sales guy, do you want to work somewhere else in the business? Regardless, he's going to try to find a way out. Even if he left, he would stay in touch with you and say, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? It's not going to be my situation, but I know that he does that for other people, and everyone in the industry definitely respects him. And then I have my manager, Lewis. He's a great guy. I can text him at any point of the day, and he will get in touch with me and answer the questions that I have. So it's a great company to work with.
That's awesome. Are they hiring?
Yeah, we're definitely hiring. You can look us up on LinkedIn, Summit Energy, and you look up Jen, and she's always posting every couple of weeks on the spots that we're hiring. But we're hiring in all different parts of the company. We're growing, so we just opened up office in Springfield. So if anyone out west needs any jobs, we're definitely hiring out there. We'll hire electricians. We need some roofers. We need some installers. So anything within any part of the business, you can work in the office. You can be a sales guy. We will help you out. We will find a way where do you fit and where we can help you guys out.
That's awesome. What's the process like to like getting into the industry as a sales guy? Because just thinking of it right now, like there's a lot of our followers where they're like independent videographers and they're looking for like part-time work or full-time work to like supplement their side hustle. They're trying to get the videography side off the ground. So what is the process like getting into like the sales side of things? And are there like part-time options available, or is it like mostly like you're all in or nothing?
I would say all in or nothing.
Yeah.
Because you really want to take this serious. You really want to really want to be there for someone. If they needed you tomorrow, but you work somewhere else tomorrow, you can't make it. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. So you definitely want to be all in. But if you have a large network and you know a lot of people, a lot of homeowners, a lot of business owners, you can still find a way to get some deals and help people out. If you can't be 100% in, I'd love to speak with you and see if I can bring you all the way in, or if I can help up the people that you already know. So I would say you'd have to go all in if you really want to be taken serious.
How did Summit find you, or did you find Summit?
I found Summit. I have a buddy that works there, and
Cool.
he came from a different company, did not like how they were treating him, how they were treating the customers, and he shopped around a little bit, found Summit, and he pretty much bragged about it to me, showed me that the people there are great, and it's a great place to work for. So I followed him there, and here I am.
That's awesome.
A year and a half later, and things are great.
Yeah, you seem very confident in that decision. I remember we were at an event it was like before Christmas, but there was some guy who was coming up trying to like pitch you on joining his company. He was trying to like recruit you, and I watched in real time how disinterested you were in this guy's like pitch. And I'm sure he's like he seemed like a hot shot solar guy, and I'm sure he has a great company and all that, but you were so like, you had your heels in the ground, like on Summit. And I saw that and I was like, that's very respectable. Like you actually like, you know what you've got in your company, you're confident where you're at, which is great and respectable. And hopefully that translates into more long-term success, because there's so many people who hop around, you know, never really build. Yeah, that's amazing. This is the
company to work for or work with, and get us to install some panels in your home.
That's awesome. And lastly, what's their service area, just for any homeowners out there who are listening?
Honestly, we're all over New England now. Now we're
Sweet.
all the way up to Maine. We have a little remote office in Maine. We have a remote office in New York. We just opened another office in Canterbury, New Hampshire. So we have all over New England. We can take care of you guys.
Awesome. If you're interested, how do they find Summit or find you?
For me, you can look me up on Instagram. It's just Steven.Solar. That's on my Instagram, or just look me up on Facebook. It's Go Summit with Steven, or go on my website, stevensolar.com. And right at the top, there's a button. You can fill out some information. You can get right on my calendar. I can give you a call. You can also go ahead and give me a call, shoot me a text. My number is 978-320-9209. Shoot me a text, give me a call, DM me on Instagram, DM me on Facebook. I'd love to help you guys out.
Awesome. What is the like start to finish? Like, say I call you tomorrow, we have our first meeting, start to like end of installation. What's that timeline typically look like?
The fastest, I would say it's possible within 30 days. It depends on your town. We're not the yes or no people at the end of the day, so we can get to signing up some things, and once we talk to the town to see if we can get the permit, they'll let us know if we can do it or not. And that's all depending on how many people have solar in your neighborhood. That's something we can talk about some other time, or if we have time now. But typically 30, 60, 100 days. Depends on the town.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen anything take more than 100 days, which is about 3 months.
That's not bad at all, though.
Yeah.
You know, you make the call, and the winter, you got
exactly.
panels
The winter
up
is the
by
best time to
spring.
do it. No one else is ready to do it, or think that they should wait. But actually, it's one of the best times to do it, because let's say we get you installed in 60 days, you're already ready for the spring. Versus if you waited for the spring or summer, you're not getting installed till the end of summer.
Yeah.
The more sun you get, the more beneficial it'll be for you.
Right. Do you get, and this might be the dumbest question of all time, but is the sun stronger in the summer than in the winter, or is it the same even though it's colder in the winter?
The sun does set sooner in the winter.
Besides
so
that, when it's up.
It's not stronger, but you do have more sun hours.
Right.
You do have 8 to 10 hours of sun hours versus in the winter you might get 4.
Yeah. So that's huge.
But the technology that we use low UV light panels that even if the sun's not hitting them directly, you're going to start producing some energy.
Cool.
If you can see, the panels will start.
Yeah. Cool. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Do you have anything else that you want to mention to everybody before we wrap it up? I can't think of anything else on my end.
If I can't help you directly with getting solar on your home, get me in touch with somebody that I can, some family, friends, coworkers, and we can work something out because I'd love to help out as many people as possible.
Yep.
I know my goal of 52 is crazy, but if I can hit that, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I can help out 52 families. That'd be amazing.
That's awesome. And one thing we talked about all day today is that you're truly just genuinely willing to help. So any questions, reach out.
Yeah.
And,
I've helped out people that aren't even my clients. I was knocking on some doors and some guy had a question about his panels and I helped him out. Gave me a call a month later. He thanked me so much because he got to figure out some stuff and they actually owed him money because of what I educated him on. So if I can help you out, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, and you said Summit can even service other panels even if they didn't install them.
So that's something that we're going to be starting up this year, that even if you worked for a different company or you need a little bit of help, give us a call. We'll see if we can service you guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, man. I appreciate you coming down here to Pawtucket.
Yeah.
Dropping into the studio.
No problem. Easy drive from Central Mass.
Absolutely. If you guys are interested, Steven already mentioned social media handles, but we'll put them in the caption when we post the podcast. And as always, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks, everybody.